The first Benoni Sea Scout Group, situated in Benoni, had been donated 2 boats in very bad condition and both were not waterworthy, so I decided to refurbish them as part of my JCP project. Due to unforeseen circumstances, I was forced to quit last year's JCP module, but I will be showing both boats I refurbished in this video. I decided to embark on this project by myself, so I was responsible for all the planning, catering, the handling of money and transport. First Benoni is situated on the Homestead Dam in Benoni and is about a 45-minute drive from Pretoria. The project took place over 5 days from Monday the 3rd of October to Friday the 7th of October 2016, each day posing new challenges. The first day involved me going to the hall with a member of the community to inspect the boat. We removed all of the water sitting inside the boat and took all the tools down to the hall to keep them in a safe place. We dusted off as much dirt as possible and cleared all cracks up, ensuring there were no splinters. After all this was done, I went to the shops to get a piece of wood to fit the middle of the boat as the previous one was missing.
So I'm on the way to the hardware store now. I found a few things that I need to fix. Particularly there's a piece of wood that needs to be replaced. I'm going to go get that, maybe some screws and some body filler to fix some of the cracks on it. So yeah, we're going to go spend some of the money that University of Pretoria gave us.
With the help of my grandfather, we fashioned the piece of wood to the exact dimensions required. This involved cutting the center out with a router and cutting the wood to size of the jigsaw. After this was done, we sanded it down to prep it for varnish. On the second day, we cleaned the boat thoroughly using a high pressure hose I brought from home. We then waited for the boat to dry, keeping ourselves busy by finding parts that belong to the boat. Once the boat was dry, we started the long process of sanding. This was done by hand to ensure we got into all the little nooks and crannies of the boat. The third day started off with me going to the shops again to buy some paint. When I got to the hall, I finished off all the sanding that needed to be done still. I thoroughly cleaned the boat again and covered it in newspaper to prep it for the painting process. Once this was done, we sprayed the boat with primer. Primer is pretty much used to cover all the cracks in the boat to make it nice and smooth for the paint to be applied. Although primer smooths the boat, it itself is still not smooth enough for the paint to be applied, so we began the process of wet sanding. Wet sanding is a process of applying water to the sandpaper to make it a lot smoother, as normal sandpaper is a bit too harsh for the primer. On day 4 we carried on the process of wet sanding, cleaned off the residue on the boat and let it dry. We prepped the boat for paint and sprayed the paint on. While waiting for the paint to dry, we cleaned all the parts of the boat. We then proceeded to rig the boat to ensure that no parts were missing. We then de-rigged the boat to ensure all parts were safe at night. On the last day, we took the newspaper off and fixed any of the imperfections we could find. We then re-rigged the boat and took it out for a test drive. After looking for any problems, I realized my job was done. The Rovers now had a waterworthy boat. Here are a few before and after photos of the other boat that I restored. While doing this project, I learned different ways to use tools to do what you want. I also learned the different kinds of paint and how you can prepare a boat for painting first. And I also learned how to use time diligently, as there was a lot to do in a short space of time. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all sponsors involved and the University of Pretoria for giving me this opportunity. I would also like to thank the first Benoni Sea Scout Group for allowing me to do the project with them. And thank you for watching my video.